One of my favorites, French onion soup, we're gonna make today for you. Let's go over the ingredients really quick. Just stopped at the grocery store, picked some fresh items up. Going to do what we need to do, follow the instructions, and get those in the pot as soon as we can. Follow along in the video. Bread, who doesn't love French bread? This is the best bread. It was made today. Here's our crock pot. Once we get the toast in the oven, we want to peel some onions. Now the mushrooms themselves are just for me, they're not for Liz. So we're gonna cook those quickly, saute those a wee bit in our pan, and then move those to the side. And yes, I love my wooden utensils. They are the best. This device is a quick chop from Pampered Chef, and you need a little muscle, but man, does it work. It's fantastic, actually. That's how I cut up all my onions for my soup. Toasting on one side is great, but you need to toast on both. We're gonna move the mushrooms to the side. Okay, the next thing that's going in is the onions, and the good thing about stick butter is the measurements for you. So we need 4 tablespoons of butter, which is awesome. Look at that, right away. Now we have to throw the onions in. Our friends, the onions. Look at them all. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's cool. So if you happen to be married to anyone Latin, they don't believe in these items. I do. I'm a very big fan of a garlic press. You get so much out of the garlic clove itself. Yes, it's always advised when you put the garlic in there is to scrape the remaining garlic off there because it will stick a little bit, but it's fantastic. This one from Pampered Chef is fantastic, and I love it.
That's a tablespoon.
That's 1 tablespoon. Yeah. And obviously, it's so we can sweeten up and caramelize the onions just a little bit.
For how long?
About 25-30 minutes.
25-30 minutes, in a few.
So for those that aren't aware, and I'm sure most of you are, I used to be a waiter, and often I get asked what and how to use these devices for opening the Cabernet Sauvignon for my French onion soup. Now let me stir my onions again. They are currently caramelizing. We're about halfway there, making the soup itself. I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit because my cameraman has left me, or camera woman. So we were open the wine. So the little tiny knife is for cutting off the foil, unless of course you have the twist top knives, or twist top bottles of wine. So you wanna get right under the edge there. Twist it around, like so. Make sure it's good, and it doesn't have to be overly sharp. And then you have to peel the top off, like that. This is when being sharp would be a good idea. As long as you get the ridge cut, you can peel it back without getting it under your fingernails. And yes, if I look warm, the kitchen is warm right now because I'm cooking. So that part is done. Close the knife, open it up, twisty cork. Cork, as you can see. The rule is if you put half of the cork, if you can see it, so half, and then you start twisting in the middle. Do not twist all the way to the bottom. Don't push the cork all the way through because pieces of cork will get in your wine. And although it's not a bad thing, it doesn't taste good. So we want to avoid that. So you get it to be about here. See there's like 1 or 2 little curves left in it. Then you put the edge down on the edge of the wine like that. You push down and you pull up. That's how I used to do it. And voila. And you can still use the cork. Didn't go all the way through. Nice and moist on the bottom. And we're ready for the wine. So excited. And you can save the cork. So, it smells fantastic. Lizzie doesn't like mushrooms. That's why they're in a separate plate, if anyone asks. We can use our handy dandy measuring cup. The next part is add wine, cooked uncovered, 5 to 7 minutes. So 1 cup of wine. I'm using Cabernet. The recipe calls for Cabernet. I am going to now pour it in here into my pot. And what we're doing now is we're going to burn off the wine into the onions themselves until the onions absorb all that flavor and all that color. So, next video, hopefully we'll be eating. Just wanted to show you. It's kind of cool. Things you learn. Now you know what this is for. So the wine's sitting in the pot, soaking up all the juices are the onions. It'll change color. At the same time, my lovely assistant is removing the thyme from the thyme stems. You can tell because her hands are much more pretty than mine. At this point, we need to add flour once the onions have cooked off with the wine to thicken up what's remaining prior to adding the beef stock. So 3 tablespoons of flour. Stir it in the pot as quick as you can. And then you want to add the beef stock so it doesn't start sticking to the bottom. I love my Pampered Chef mixing bowl. You saw it right there. It's amazing. We're going to add some sea salt and a little bit of pepper. I love my pepper grinder as well. Kind of sprinkle some on there into the pot. Make it look nice and tasty. And then we're going to stir it just a little bit and then put the remaining thyme that my assistant pulled off the stems into the soup. Look how pretty it is already. Oh, $18, folks. $18 for 6 ounces of Gruyere cheese. It's time to plate. Let's put it in the bowl. And once we put it in the bowl, we have to add our toasted bread. Oh, I forgot about my mushrooms. Yes, for mine. Yeah, put mushrooms in mine. So you toast it so you can float it. So you need to float. That's why it's toasted. This bread would absorb it. And then you get cheese. And you want
Oh yeah, fill it up.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna do it as fast as you can, because some will sink to the bottom.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
And then we get it in the broiler ASAP.
Okay, let's go to the broiler. Great.
Put the broiler on 450 and slide the crocks into the oven for about 3 minutes. Magic. 3 came out to win. And I'm so excited because it's almost time to eat, everyone. And be careful, super hot, super hot. Oh, speechless, amazing. Bon appetit. Welcome to the French kitchen. Today we have made some French onion soup for the French Pampered Chef party. And we're going to eat it shortly. I can't keep talking like that, so don't ask me. So don't ask me to. That was my best French accent. We're listening to French. It's actually called French cooking music if you have Google. Don't say it too loudly, but if you have Google, you can tell them to cook it, or to put it on. We followed the instructions exactly to the T. And the instructions came with the rock crock pot that we use, that big giant Dutch oven that I got in my starter kit. And I'm extremely excited. All the video we took, all the pictures we took for this, it's going to be posted after we do this lovely taste test.
Yeah, you can see the little thing up there where we had the camera.
But it'll be posted after we do our taste test. So right now, we're doing a live taste test. So I'll walk through on the pictures all the fun stuff. But for now, these are very hot, having just come out of the broiler. And hopefully we can taste it. And this one's marked specially because that's where the mushrooms are. And we know, and I've said before, that Liz does not like mushrooms.
I don't like mushrooms, so that one is for me.
And this one is for me, huh? Oh,
yeah,
the Frenchman is eating it.
Mats is gonna try.
Mats is going to come in a little while.
He's never had French onion soup.
He's never had French onion soup.
So go ahead and give that a taste, Chef French.
Chef French.
So what all is in there? I took a picture and we did post the ingredients that we used.
All right, so we start off with basically onions. You know, you get 5 large sweet onions and you chop them up with whatever Pampered Chef device you have, and you caramelize them for the longest. And that took the longest. That took about 30 minutes.
Caramelizing the onions took the longest.
So 25 to 30 minutes.
Hey guys, tell us you're watching, comment and say hello. Tell us where you're watching from.
All right, and then once you get to the point of caramelization, you know, that nice browning, you put the Cabernet Sauvignon. And yes, you can use sherry or port, for Cabernet is a little bit of a drier wine, which is good. You put the wine in the onions, you let them cook off. Once they cook off, you have onions that are basically a nice red color. So there's no wine left, it's just onions. After that, then you can add this beef stock, mushrooms, beef stock, little thyme, salt, and pepper, and you let it sit and cook. Once it's done, you get these lovely crock pots. Now the instructions I wasn't following exactly because they want you to put the big Dutch thing and I don't. So we'll do the little tiny crock pots.
So put them individually in these little soup, little ramekins.
To make life a little bit easier for you because it's a lot easier to take them in and out of the oven. You get 3 pieces of French bread. You know those little baguettes you get? If you can fill it up with 1 piece, great. If not,
that looks
we
so
do
good
3
when you
and it
put it in the
smells so
toaster
good.
oven.
But it has to be toasted. If it's not toasted, it sinks. So you got to make sure
Okay.
it's toasted on both sides. And then you can see right here how they're floating on top of the soup.
Yeah, the bread is literally right on top of the soup because it was toasted. So if it's not toasted, it absorbs the liquid.
It absorbs the liquid
it sinks.
and it drops. So toast it. A lot of restaurants use the day-old bread, stale bread, whatever. That's the same. Anyway,
It's yummy.
and then you put the cheese on it, and as fast as you can, you get it in the broiler, and you let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes.
And how much was that cheese that you bought?
I said it in the video beforehand.
Yeah, you'll
but
watch it in the video to find
Gruyere
out.
cheese,
Let's not tell them. You have to watch the video.
yeah, and gold are the same thing. Anyway, so now it's all set. It's all done. I'm going to taste it.
Give it a taste.
I'm very excited. It's going to be
Bon appetit.
still very hot. You can see, hopefully, yeah, the steam's going to come out of there. But I'm going to taste everything, actually. Ooh, oh, I have the
my
mushrooms.
God,
Oh,
that
look at
looks
that.
so good.
So good. Matzah's in time for dinner.
He's tasting it live on his Facebook page. Okay.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Not too salty.
Not
like
too. It's perfect. It's perfect. We used the right beef stock. We didn't use too much salt. We didn't use too much butter and salted butter and all that good stuff. Absolutely perfect.
All right, guys.
Time to eat.
Time to eat. You guys will see him literally making it step by step in about an hour.
In about an hour.
All right, so I'm gonna have mine and Matz's tasting his for the very first time.
I'm so
Here we
excited.
go.